Hey guys, it's Takasta here again. Welcome to another video review. So today I'll be reviewing the SteelSeries Kinzu V3 gaming mouse. So I'm going to be doing a review of this and also the Logic G Four 2. Sorry I haven't been doing any reviews lately. I just got a lot on my mind. If you just want to know what I've been doing, I've been traveling a little bit. After I finished my studies, I just started work, so I haven't released the video in like 4 months, but here comes a review. So some background to the SteelSeries Kinzu. So the mouse has been released for 7 to 8 years now, from the V1, V2, now the V3. The main difference is really just the scroll wheel, the outer surface, and also the sensor performance. In terms of the sensor, they changed mainly from a PixArt to an Avvo 3050, which the sensor itself is not new, but it is a pretty good performing sensor in my opinion. In terms of the price, it is priced at $30 US. I bought it for 238 Hong Kong. In terms of the price out there, you get your bang for the buck for what you're paying. $30, you're not expecting a 3090 or like the new sensors like the 3366 found in the G502, for example. However, you are getting the bang for the buck. The 3050 found in the Ikari Optical before was a very, very good performing sensor. And to be honest, in terms of, I'll talk about the performance later, for $30, I can't imagine you getting like anything better or like similarly priced. So I really, really like it. Maybe secondhand you can. In terms of specifications, it's rated at 2000 CPI or GPI, and you can set it from 250, 500, and 250 increments. So you can't exactly change it a lot. With the G4 2, for example, you can set it at 80, I believe, but this does have a limitation. It's not like the Sensei where you can set it by one increments. It also has 10 million SteelSeries switches, will actually feel like ARM runs, 1 millisecond polling rate, 60 IPS, and also 20 G-force. So it does track up to 3 meters per second, so you don't have to worry about malfunctions at higher speeds. In terms of weight, I think it is rated at 74 grams. Nothing has changed. The shape, the chassis, the weight, really nothing has changed other than this refreshes that I talked about. So again, if you are a person who likes heavier mice or you like a bigger mice, this is really not for you. It does maintain this ambidextrous feature, which I actually do really, really like. I always like the shape of like the Kana, the Sai. The Zaya is actually too big for me, or the Sensei even. So I actually like the Kana or the Kinzu. I like the smaller mice, which gives me some pretty good control. In terms of the shape, I'll post like the measurements here. I forgot the exact measurements, but for my hand is 19 centimeters from the tip to the base. I can really, how I do it is I do kind of a fingertip-ish palm grip. So I have my palm kind of on the back of the mouse, but even though the mouse is supposedly too small for me, if you can see in this, I guess see how I'm holding it right now, but I kind of move it like really, really gently. I move it with my palm and also just like the tip of my third and fourth finger. So I just move like this, and then it's pretty pretty comfortable. And I like the fact that the mouse doesn't really fill my hand up that much. However, it is very comfortable in this sense. I'm sure if you've used the Kinzu, I'm sure you would know. But in terms of that, yeah. For the build quality is good. They refreshed this. I only have the white one right here. The black one's actually at work, so I use that at work as well. They have a black and a white, and then mainly the white is the glossy version and the black is the matte version. The black, if you can see from some of the pictures here, it just implements the matte kind of surface found in the Sensei Raw. So if you manage the Sensei and change it to the Raw and the glossy, it's a little bit like that actually. The differentiation is exactly like that. The surface feels a lot like the Sensei Raw, and for the glossy, this feels a little bit like the glossy as well. However, what I would say for the white one is that the surface is a little bit more tacky than the other glossy surface offered from SteelSeries. So if you've ever used like the SteelSeries gloss, Sensei Raw glossy, I don't know how many editions they've had. This is a little bit tackier. Like, for example, the SteelSeries V2 Silver Edition, I remember, is also glossy surface, but it wasn't as tacky as this white surface. It's slightly tackier. I mean, it's really a personal preference, to be honest. If you like glossier surfaces, I think you would probably like this as well. Not that bad. In terms of the build quality, I can't really complain. In terms of the switches, scrolls, whatever, it has a really, really good finish. In terms of how long you can use it before it breaks, I don't know. I haven't used that much anyways. For the scroll wheel, I do have to mention something different. I actually don't know why I didn't pull this out earlier. I completely forgot I had the Kinzu V2. The Kinzu V3, they call it Kinzu V3 Optical Mouse, and this the Kinzu V2, they call it the Pro Edition. Whatever. But as you can see here, the scroll wheel, for the Kinzu V2 and the Kinzu V1, in fact, the scroll is much lighter, and you just like scroll through very, very quickly. I'll do a comparison video to really demonstrate this. But for the Kinzu V3, it actually has a bigger indentation between each scroll, so it's not exactly as light. There is a little bit more resistance. The scroll wheel actually feels a lot like the Ikari laser and the Ikari I think the Kari Laser, yeah. Like, funnily enough, they went for a really different scroll wheel. So, in that sense, I personal preference again, but I do like the scroll wheel. It feels different. It feels kind of light, and it does snap a little bit more than the Kinzu V2. The Kinzu V2 scroll wheel doesn't really snap that much. It just scrolls through. The Kinzu V3, it does snap, which is very nice. In terms of the firmware, there is firmware for this. Surprisingly, yeah, you can save the settings between two DPI settings. They are 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons are programmable, weirdly enough, but it has onboard memory, so you can save in one computer, bring it to another place, and it will be just fine. It'll just save. In terms of the braided cable, doesn't use a braided cable anymore. The Kinzu V2 uses braided, and they went back to just like a normal plastic-ish cable, which a lot of people actually prefer this over the braided because the braided just doesn't feel very nice. It's very tacky. It's very very hard to move, I guess. Provides a lot more resistance. This is kind of flimsy, so it's nice in terms of it doesn't like hold the mouse back. So a lot of people like that. I personally don't really mind, but I guess, yeah, I really don't mind. Just, I guess, what I'm used to. Moving on to, last but not least, the performance. So this is the optical sensor Alphago 3050. For $30, you are expecting like a decent sensor at least. And for a slightly older sensor, this is definitely a pretty good performing. It goes up to 2000 CPI, but to be honest, in terms of the acceleration, there is like almost is none. For the clicks and the for the performance and the maximum tracking speed, does go up to 3 meters per second, so no worry about that. However, you can't go up to very, very high DPIs. If you do use over 2000 CPI, it has a function to go up to 4000, but that's actually double CPI. So in fact, you are skipping counts on the screen, so I wouldn't really recommend that. But for lower 800, 1200 normal gaming, I really can't really complain. In terms of the liftoff distance, which was a big problem with the Ikari Optical, that had like a rated 3.5 millimeter liftoff distance. This, I think they pushed the sensor up a little bit, so the liftoff distance is actually lower. So in fact, the sensor is already like a bit higher. So it's rated at maybe like 1 millimeter, or on this SteelSeries 5L I have here, maybe 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters, pretty low. So definitely not an issue. And in any case, you can always attach mouse feet, I haven't done this stock, but I did it on my black one. So I guess like for the performance, I really, really can't complain. Even at higher polling rates, it is pretty stable, so definitely could recommend. In conclusion, what I would say is that this is a very, very good, maybe not good upgrade, refresh, whatever, but it is a refresh and it is nice. If you compare it to the other, the Kinzu V2, like the overall look of it does feel refreshed. Like it does feel like it gives it a really kind of V2 kind of feeling. I do feel like it's newer, and I do like the new look of it. If you did like the Kinzu before, I think you would like the Kinzu V3 definitely in terms of the look and the new feel, and maybe the new performing sensor as well. Some people don't like the shape. Some people say it's a crappy upgrade or crappy refresh. They're milking our money, milking my money. I bought two. Right? So, but I do appreciate for what it's worth. So hope you guys like this. For my recommendations, if you need a cheap mouse, go grab it. It's definitely a great performing mouse. Hope you like that. I'll be coming out with my Logitech G4 to review very, very soon. So thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day.